I'll start when I want to.
I'm like,
By
hey,
God,
man, we're recording, man. I don't care if you pushed the button 4 minutes ago. I'm ready to go now.
I don't care. And go. God shed His grace on me. What's up?
Absolutely nothing, man. How you doing, brother?
Pretty good.
Awesome.
I think around here, the fireworks will probably have stopped for about 30 minutes, and then they'll fire back up in about 1 in the morning.
Yeah, that sounds about right, man.
If you hear anything going outside, could be fireworks, could be a gas explosion. I don't know. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
It's the perks of living in West Georgia, baby.
Take your pick. I don't know. Turtle, it could have exploded. I don't know.
Man. Only time will tell.
See it in the morning.
If I need to know, I'll find out. It'll be okay.
Mm-hmm.
If it's that big of a deal, that news will wait for me.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got to go looking for nothing, man.
Well, all the walls are still up. Sounds like God's will.
If there's everything's fine here, it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
I'll see y'all in the morning times.
Man, I guess some of the biggest news of this past week is the Hawks having the best season they've ever had in my whole, I would say my life, but it's ever, since I've
Yeah.
been in Atlanta.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. I would totally agree with you on that, man.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah, the big.
it was one of those kind of things that initially you get kind of bummed out, but then it's like, heck, man, it's awesome.
Yeah, man. It's a weird thing, but I probably mentioned it on here before, man. We've talked about it before too, man. That obviously love the Hawks, love the run they went on. It's fantastic. But there is part of me, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. There's part of me, especially since Phoenix won the West, that I'll say it this way. Of course, the Hawks winning is what I was after, but I will enjoy the finals more now with it being Milwaukee and Phoenix than I would have if Atlanta was in it. Because when my
Sure.
teams are in there, man, it's impossible for me to enjoy it because I'm keyed up and I want them to win. So now, just as a fan of basketball, this is going to be cool, man. It's going to be quite fun, and it's tricky. It's very very hard for me. Excuse me, because I like Chris Paul so much, and really we've talked about it. Like Chris Paul forever. Little Rick's own Jay Crowder is on that team. DeAndre Ayton. I just don't think you can spend any time watching that team at all and not love that guy, man, because he's just so cool. But Phoenix is a real good team, but I love Milwaukee, and I'm like, I don't know who to pull for here, so I think I'm just going to watch it and enjoy it, man. But it's very cool. I was really happy that Coach Bud got the win, got over the hump, because they got to the Eastern Conference Finals with Atlanta, too. And so it's like, all right, he's in his old building, and he got over the hump, and it's cool. But the thing, I'm waiting for somebody to point this out, and I'll do it right now. Anybody that got there first or before now, good on y'all. I just hadn't heard it. But it's fascinating what a replay this is, and we've been talking a lot, or they've been talking a lot about, oh man, Milwaukee, first final since 74, won a championship in 71, and the thing that both those teams had in common is that Kareem was on both of them. But something interesting, something fabulous, I think, about it being Bucks Suns is apparently in 1970 when they were expansion teams, they flipped a coin over which one of them was getting that number one pick, and Milwaukee won. That's how come Lewis Alcindor / Kareem Abdul-Jabbar wasn't a Phoenix Sun. And I'm like, oh man, all these years later, it's for time for revenge. Yeah. Phoenix has to go and get them. I thought that was so cool. Like, oh man, that was Milwaukee and Phoenix. It was some little it's the old. They had like the Topps Heritage. They reprinted the old basketball cards, and I bought a pack of them. I remember I bought one pack of those things and pulled the reprint of like the '71 Kareem, which of course I loved because I love that guy, and the actual card is impossibly expensive. But that was the little note on the back was explaining that for the expansion draft they flipped a coin, and I'm like, holy crap, that's cool, man.
Man, now you gotta pay.
Yeah, it's cool, man. I'm serious. I don't know who I'm pulling for. I really don't, man, because I guess as far as
I think I'm in
champions,
the same boat. I mean, I'm going to be satisfied regardless.
yeah, I think it's going to be real fun, and I've enjoyed both those teams, man. So it's like, all right, this will be cool, and I know everybody knows it now. I'm assuming everybody knows it now. I hope everybody keeps it in mind. But can we finally, I mean, I know Michael Wilbon will be real keyed up about Phoenix being in the final, and good for him. But while he's in the spirit of giving and while he's in a good mood, can I please get him to stop talking about Malcolm Brogdon? Can I please get him to never bring up the fact that Milwaukee stuck with Chris Middleton over Malcolm Brogdon ever again? Because I'm pretty sure they made the right decision there, man. On that subject,
Oh, yeah.
this is something about Milwaukee that I want to point out. I think we've talked about it before, but we'll do it now especially. I appreciate why ESPN in particular hates Giannis as much as they do. I get it. And I know they were real mad because he pulled a LeBron on him, and that they talked about, oh, man, fill in the blank, because they said it about both of them. Is he going to be a New York Knick when free agency comes a calling? Is he going to go to New York? Going to go to the Apple? Is he going to go play for the Knicks? And LeBron told him to stick it. Let me rephrase that. LeBron told Jimmy Dolan to stick it. There's no way LeBron was going to go to New York and play for that idiot, and no one else is dumb enough to do that too. But the push to get that guy to Milwaukee, and then he turns around and signs a supermax with him. And then instantly, he hadn't had any help. They're not going to give him any help. They're just going to have to pay that contract. And I hope he's okay with being a mid-level team in the Eastern Conference, because they're never going to get him any help. Well, they got rid of Brogdon so they could pay Chris Middleton, because you had to pick one. Then they immediately turn around and go and sign, I think they traded for Drew Holiday. And it's like, where's that talk again about Milwaukee not taking it seriously and not actually trying to get this guy? You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not hearing that now. And this was only 2 seasons ago. And this, as far as Drew Holiday, I'm pretty sure that was last year. I think that was their first year together. So it's cool, man. Again, I hate for the Hawks to miss out, but front to back over the course of the series, Milwaukee was better than we were, man. And it's not, I wasn't really sure where Milwaukee's a more talented team. They might be. I don't know if I believe that or not, but it really just seems to me that, hey, man, you take your shots and some of them go and some of them don't. And Milwaukee had a couple of games where the shots just wouldn't fall, so we took advantage and we beat them. We had a couple of games where the shots wouldn't fall. They beat us. And it's like, man, it's totally okay. It was a good series. That was quite the fun series. Pat Connaughton's a complete little jackass, but most gym rat white boys are. I mean, that's just what they do. Yeah. But him throwing that elbow last night, I thought the people were about to come out of the seats, because it was about the 4th time up the floor that there was like, all right, it's the playoffs, and letting them go is totally okay. But the last 2 trips up the court, they've gotten free throws. Now we're coming back the other way, and there's no such thing as a free throw. What are you doing here? Come on, man, get this right. And Connaughton comes up and does his little elbow, and people, oh, man, I was as mad as the folks in the arena were. And it's like, Jesus, y'all, get out of here. But the fact of the matter is that was first half stuff. And I thought the tail of the tape last night, anyway, for me, was the 3rd quarter. It's kind of like what Chris did in the 4th quarter the game before. And Chris Middleton gets hot. That's it. That guy is real good. So I don't mean to get into free throws and stuff like that, because it's not what cost us at any point in the series. It just made me mad. Yeah. But Chris Middleton played his dick off, especially with no Giannis. It's awesome. And I know that's the huge thing now is, well, they're better off without Giannis. And it's like, anytime you have a player that everything doesn't work through, hey, man, I guess my upside, the positive thing, and no one will say it this way, but we'll say it this way, because why not? If we're going to talk about how much better off they are without Giannis, what does that say about Coach Bud? It's a pretty good coach, man. It's like the absolute supermax superstars missed 2 games. And him not playing, I could be wrong. We don't even know if Giannis will be back for the finals. I think he would have been back for Game 7 if there would have been one. But Trey sitting out Game 5 made all the sense in the world. There's no need to play him. That made sense. And Giannis sitting out 5 and 6 makes total sense, man. It's like, dude, in Game 6, you're up 3-2. If we beat you, you still have a game in hand. There is no reason to push that guy and risk the injury. So I don't know. Maybe he really is that hurt. But if it's just a precaution thing, that wouldn't surprise me either.
I think that's more what it is,
I think so too.
No need, so why bother?
I think so too. I think that's the reason that Trae Young plays in Game 6, because we had to have it. And so, considering they weren't in that gotta have it spot, no reason to rush the kid. I'm with you.
Risk reward factor.
Yeah, man. Excuse me.
Not like you.
Yeah, but I am fascinated, absolutely fascinated with the Hawks going forward, because there was the talk inside the NBA was discussing, well, what's the first order of business for the Hawks? And basically, it's do you re-sign John Collins or do you get Nate McMillan to be the head coach? And I hate to say that I know which one I think is a bigger deal, but Kenny Smith was talking about John Collins, but there's a particular reason that he's talking about John Collins, because Shaq and Chuck are like, man, you're nuts, man. They got to get McMillan signed. And the point that Kenny was trying to make is that the Hawks will not determine whether or not Nate McMillan stays. It's not about them offering him the job. It's about him taking it. You know what I'm saying? It's like the ball is in their court with John. You already know what the offer is going to be the head coach of the Hawks. Will he take it? And I'm a little concerned about that, because I just can't believe that he hasn't already jumped on that. And I just don't think that the Hawks are withholding. So I'm really hoping that Nate is the coach. And I would love it if John Collins is the guy too. But the sign and trade they were talking about is, if I had to tell you right now, that's what I would guess that they would do, is a sign and trade with somebody else. And I don't know if anyone's talking about it or not. I know with Dallas and Miami, everyone's huge thing is, Kawhi Leonard, he could leave the Clippers. Kawhi Leonard, he's upset with the Clippers, and he could go to Dallas, or he could go to Miami. Kawhi Leonard's going to come to Atlanta. I'm telling you, Kawhi Leonard, my gut tells me Kawhi Leonard's going to be in Atlanta, because if you see that team, they are crazy good. The Hawks are real, real, real good. So why not? And also, I mean, just part of it, let's just be honest. I want you to think about a front court next season when we don't have the ball. Our front court will be Capella, Kawhi Leonard, and DeAndre Hunter. Brother, that is quite the steep hill to get up, man. So I hope we keep Collins. But if you're going to move him along, and also, I mean, to be over the tape, if I'm picking between the two, I prefer Collins, but that's just me being selfish and personal stuff. Kawhi definitely gives you the better chance to win, but Kawhi Leonard and, pardon me, Trae Young as your top two, that's not so bad. It's really not. And if there's any way you can keep all of them, great, but I don't think you can. But still, it doesn't matter. I'll tell you what, though. And the guys, the TNT guys, particularly, I'm pretty sure it was Charles, that was particularly on this point. I was so glad he was. Man, how about Cam Reddish, man? That guy ain't played in months. He was hurt for a long time. And not only did he come back in and get good minutes, but that guy played very well. And this is like Eastern Conference Finals coming in cold. It's like, hey, that's exciting as crap, dude. Oh, baby, this is awesome, man. So I was really glad to see it. And then I was thrilled they pointed it out. Like, God, that's great, man.
I wasn't expecting him back. I thought it was going to be next year.
I wasn't sure. I missed everything about that timeline. I'm with you. So it was a total surprise for me too, man.
Yeah. And just for that to happen, I was like, man, there's more. It makes me feel better about the end of the season, like the sign of things to come. It's like, man, this going to be good for a while.
I agree. I'm trying to remember who our guys are. I think the three guys we have that are free agents, Collins is one of them. I want to say the other two are Solomon Hill, who's probably gone. I love Solo, man, but I just don't necessarily know. And then, man, Sweet Lou Williams is the other one. And I kind of hope they sign him. I love Lou, man. So, again, that's more biased stuff, and I guess it just depends. But I don't know. I'm jumping all over the place, man. But I will be thrilled if we can get word on McMillan having signed a contract, because that guy is amazing. So I'm hoping we can hold on to him, but we'll see, But whether or not, if you can keep Collins, that's great. But going back to the Kawhi story, I just think that's where he'll wind up. I really do. And it's all the things they were talking about him going to Dallas. Basically, it was he doesn't have to be the superstar there. Luka will do it. And it's like, you're right. You're absolutely right. You got a guy here for that too. It's like because the whole deal, well, Kawhi doesn't want to be the man. Like, hey, do you really think you're going to get that guy's goat talking that junk? How have you not figured out by now that everybody already knows that? Kawhi knows everybody knows that. Kawhi couldn't give you two shits. He doesn't care about shit like that. I love that dude. I think the way he's wired is very interesting because I think as far as basketball, like his game and the way he plays, it's weird. It's Kawhi Leonard to me seems to be the complete other side of the coin of what people talk about with the Mamba mentality. As far as the game itself goes, Kobe's on an island by himself. But as far as Kobe with his family, that's Kawhi's that side of the Mamba coin, where it's all like, this is what I do for a living, and it's great, and I like being good at it, and I want to be a champ, and that's going to be cool and all. But if I don't share blood with it, if I don't go home at night and hang out with it and tuck it in bed or kiss it on the cheek, why the hell do I care? And that's cool. I think that's neat. Kawhi is his family, and fuck everything else. I'm like, good for you. I love it. I think that's real cool, man. Yeah.
Sorry, B. If you try to stick up on me, gonna get you to take off stutter. What you gonna have to take you?
Out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Get out of here, little son of a.
I tried that. It hadn't happened before. I think that's the first time. So what you did? Man. Still, man. Another thing that was kind of fun about the end of the Hawks season, it was the end of Marv Albert's career, which was kind of cool.
I totally agree. It's one of the nicest of silver linings where if we're going to get beat by Milwaukee anyway, it's kind of nice that it happened in Game 6 because now Marv's last game will always have been in Atlanta, and it's like, damn, that's cool. And on the subject, if anybody happens to come across this video that was in the crowd at State Farm last night, man, the number of Hawks fans that stuck around to bid Marv adieu after the broadcast, that was a nice cluster of people, and they were super enthusiastic and just really, really, it made me feel great. I loved that many people stuck around to, either shoot video or just applaud him off or what have you. I thought the little conversation that he had with Shaq and Chuck and Kenny was real, real good. But I liked his little professional broadcaster's trick of the whole time they're talking to him, he's doing this, and it's like, if he looks in that camera, he's gonna lose it, and I totally get it, and I'm like, he held it together very well. He did good, because I'm like, oh man.
There's that thing of for me, it's like on airplanes. It's like if I just focus on this one spot, I won't get sick. And I think that's kind of where your mind goes. Like if I look away, I'm gonna go, whoa!
Yeah, dude. If I look at the monitor, I'm gonna lose it.
It's times of like, I don't know, severe nausea or whatever it is. Like, if I move, it's gonna happen. So if I just keep focused, bite down.
Seriously, nothing bad can happen to me if I'm hyper focused.
Yeah. Yeah, but man, I did listen to that same little interview, and I thought it was kind of cool. Like, Shaq was talking about, like, when Marv Albert said my name, I knew it was real.
Yeah, that was so cool, man. It's like, oh man, and you're right. He gave detail of exactly what play he was talking about. I'm like, damn, that's cool, man. Yeah. Something about Marv that everybody knows that I will mention. Everyone knows how funny that guy is. But man, he is like deadpan with some of the funniest stuff. Like he had that comment last night where they're just sitting there watching the little video replay and they're putting all the photos up, and there's that black and white of him and Julius Erving out playing one-on-one. And I mean, subtle and dry and just completely on it. He's all like, yes, this is this photo of me taking Julius to the hole. It just went right on about it. It was so awesome. His commentary on the game, me taking Julius to the hole.
That time I had to school Dr. J.
Yeah, that was so awesome, man. The young man didn't become a doctor until he passed my course. I gave Julius his PhD.
Yes.
Yes.
That's still the go-to Marv Albert Stockton tool. Oh, yes.
Dude, see, I'm the same way. I understand that he was talking about how his call that he always thinks of is the spectacular play from Michael Jordan, and that's not the one that I expected. I was expecting, oh, what a move by Jordan, which was the one on the baseline against the Knicks, which I know we've talked about it before, man. And if you watch the show, y'all know I'm certainly not the person to ask about Michael Jordan because he ain't my guy. But that is my favorite of the frontline Jordan highlights. That one's my favorite. And the reason I love that one, the spectacular play by Michael Jordan doesn't do anything for me, and I'll tell you why. Anybody that has seen Julius go up and under against the Lakers, first of all, it seems like he hangs in the air for 6 seconds. It's just unbelievable. But when Julius goes up, there's two defenders. He comes underneath and goes back under the backboard because he had to. Michael switched hands just because he was being cute. There's no defender. There's no arm. There's no nothing. It's why the video looks so nice because it's just him in the air doing that thing. And it's like he just did it to be cute. It's not the same. Oh, what a move by Jordan, on the other hand. It's that crazy Michael Jackson style breakdancing, in and out dribbling on the baseline, cuts back in and throws the thing down. And every single thing that he did was necessary to get those points. And it was fantastic. That's my favorite Jordan highlight. And also it's in game because for me, dunk contest stuff doesn't really do much for me unless it's Vince Carter, because Vince Carter was brilliant, but Vince could do it in game. Just same thing with Dominique. Dominique in game was better than he was in the contest. Some of that stuff that guy would come up with opponents out there, absolutely unbelievable, man. So I like in-game highlights better, and so. Oh, what a move by Jordan. And also, he was at home, man. That was in Madison Square Garden. And that's Marv's house. It was just neat for Marv to, I'm here covering the game nationally. Who gives a crap? I'm the Knicks guy. And it's just, there's something about in that moment, just the game transcending who you're pulling for and being like, just overcome because it's so awesome. It was like, my God, did you see that? That's cool. That's my favorite, man.
He named the band Tenacious D.
He did. He certainly did.
I think that's they're on record as giving him credit as Jack Black was somewhere watching some game that Marv happened to be calling, and it's just some Tenacious D.
Tenacious D. Yeah.
If you did nothing else, that's Hall of Fame.
That's it, man.
Tenacious D. Yes.
Oh, that'd be awesome, man. But yeah, it's back 1,000 years ago, I was telling a buddy of mine that Tenacious D, the name of that band, is from basketball. And I'm like, get out of here. I'm like, it's a Marv Albert call. I'm telling you, man. So I'm with you. It's like, yes. It's just, I'm sorry. I said yes. And what I meant was, yes.
Man. My other thing that was kind of a neat thing, I remember what I watched that I got to talk to the man about, is in lieu of having Dark Side of the Rings and AEW treasure hunt WWE shows to watch, did you watch the AEW Kissology that was ran they did it like it was like Sunday and Monday night or something like that this past week.
I saw that it was coming on, but I missed it. I'm sorry to say.
I think for the most part, there's not a thing. I don't see any reason why it had to be 4 hours. I don't think there was a bit of it that I felt like, oh man, that was some new insight. But at the same time, I will sit and listen to those guys tell the same stories just because I love those stories so much. And if there's anything new in it, I liked hearing the Tommy Thayer, Eric Singer taking over section. I wish that was more of what it was. To me, that was probably like the last hour of the 4. Because, I mean, a big surprise, Peter, Chris, and Ace did not sit down to be interviewed for the A&E stuff. But you I don't think you really needed to hear from them because you still get their sound bites and clips from other interviews that they've done about it. But for the most part, I mean, when it comes to Paul, you may not like his tone, you may not like what he says, but he is always shooting and telling you what happened. Gene, different story. But I always, I don't think that much of what he said has. I don't get BS vibes from him.
Yeah,
I really
I've
don't.
always enjoyed, I've always appreciated that from Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Ace and Peter, for the love of God, how many times can you bring up the same old shit?
Mm-hmm.
Tommy Thayer, I don't know anything about, so it'd be interesting
Yeah.
to just find out. But Eric Singer, this is the thing, man. Peter Chris is
Mm-hmm.
Peter Chris, and everyone loves him because, oh my God, he sang Beth. But okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Eric Carr is probably technically the best drummer the band ever had, and he
Yeah.
died young, and that sucks.
That
But
was a tough part of it.
but Eric Singer is a bad sucker. I mean, he's
Yeah.
it's not like, I guess my thing with Eric Singer is he was in the band for, like, I shouldn't say the second highlight because Chris Jericho always goes on and on about how 80s Kiss is so underrated and better than 70s Kiss, and he'll argue with anybody about it. I'm not sure who you're going to find to argue with if people actually listen
Yeah.
to it, because the 80s stuff is better. It just is. But I guess it's just what age you are
Mm-hmm.
as to whether or not this is true. Okay, you think 80s Kiss is better than 70s Kiss because it's what you grew up with. Well, I grew up with Revenge, and I'm here to tell you, people can talk Destroyer all they want to. Front to back, Revenge is the best album Kiss ever made. And Eric Singer was on that record, so it's not
Yeah.
like he just came in out of nowhere, man. So I like Eric, so I was really happy when they decided, yeah, we're going to get two guys and put them in makeup and go on tour. I don't see what the problem is, especially Ace Frehley just seems like a cockbag to me. So if you're telling me that I can get this professional musician that I don't have to put up with bullshit, no problem.
Yeah.
Ace is great, but he ain't. It's not like you're replacing Eddie Van Halen. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You can find somebody that can be Ace Frehley. So it was totally okay, man.
I think where the A&E biography really got more interesting to me was when it got through the first part of the career, the downfall that story's been told several times. Um, when it got to the reunion tour and like what you're talking about, uh, Eric Singer and I want to say maybe it was Bruce Kulick, but Tommy Thayer was there. They were in the band at that point in time, and uh, to they were in the point to the. I don't, Tommy Thayer wasn't in the band, but he was definitely working with them to the point that uh, there was interest enough for a reunion, and it was going to be a reunion with the original members after the whole unplugged episode and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And like what you're talking about, they had to bring Ace back, and they had to get Tommy Thayer to sit down with him to do rehearsals to get him up to playing live at the level that they're going to play. And that was kind of the to me the interesting part of the documentary when okay, it's Eric Singer didn't take that so well. I mean, he took it well enough, but he's kind of had a career of being that good little hand that we can bring into the band and get us through a rough patch. And when it came time to do the reunion, he's kind of like, what the heck, bros? I've been here. Why am I getting passed over? But I can't say he should be that shocked. But it's that's what makes it a reunion is having uh, the original guys back together. But at the same time, that was the part of the story too that was interesting to me when you bring Ace and Peter back, and in the contract, there's like I don't know exactly how they worded it, if they called it like a professional clause or, but like you're going to be monitored, and we're going to be sure that you're there and with us, or we'll pull you again, and it worked. It the the tour went off well, and I think that's kind of where I think Eric Singer saw the writing on the wall that this tour is going to be huge, and that's going to mean another album, that's going to mean another tour, and it's going to mean I'm out of a job. Is who had the biggest problem with it, but I think you'd also do. Peter and Ace are going to get back to doing the Peter and Ace stuff. This is in just a matter of time, and that's exactly what happened. So, but nonetheless, I still enjoyed watching it and had a good time with it, and just dug it and thought it was a bunch of fun. But that's where I think you get Paul just being real and shooting straight with people when he was like, we
best thing about being a band like Kiss
is me. But it's just it sounds curt and it makes them sound crude. But the facts of the matter are, Ace and Peter come back. Their reunion tour, biggest tour that year, made a ton of money, and there was just this notion that Ace and Peter were going to come back like, we want to make what you guys make, and Paul's like, there's no way that's going to happen.
No, look, that contract was negotiated, wasn't it? No, we offered you what we were, and that's the whole thing is you signed the contract for the amount of money and with the sobriety clause in it, you knew what it was going to be. It's never going to be a 4-way split. That won't happen. Sorry.
It wasn't happening back in the day. We've been here carrying the flag, if you want to call it that, the whole time. You're not going to get that. It's just not going to happen for you. And I think that's where they're like, well, they kind of saw where this is headed. But they carried on, and with having Eric Singer and Tommy in the band, I mean, I've seen both versions. I've seen the reunion. I've seen that version. I can't say it's one's better than the other. I think they're both damn good. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, man.
So
I like Eric being back in the band because I know that this would never happen because it's just way too much costuming and you just couldn't do it. But I love the idea of them doing a show in New York, full-on Kiss makeup, and it's all good, la-di-da, for the first set. And then the second set, you bring Bruce Kulick out, and the second set is, for Pete's sake, Revenge. Just the whole album, start to finish. That would be, oh my God, that'd be awesome. That's what I was hoping that they would do that.
And to their credit, to A&E and Kiss's credit, I fully expected them to just totally not acknowledge Phantom of the Park whatsoever, but they did. They went through it. They were like, we'll talk about it. It's gonna be quick.
You gotta do Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park, so that way you can get at least one in there. Because if you don't have Ace Frehley going, it's not worth your time.
I mean, if nothing else,
was Black Ace Frehley in it? He should have been.
If nothing else, it is proof of what was going on at the time. Like, see what a piece of crap this guy was. He didn't even show up. We had to put some guy that didn't even look like him in the movie. It's there. It's undeniable.
It's very easy to see.
Hilarious.
I completely agree. It's the one enjoyable thing about that movie.
It's ordinary people.
It's ordinary people. Wish that Peter could have missed that day. That would have been hilarious, though, if you have him doing it. If they'd done a voiceover for Peter Criss, that'd have been hilarious, man.
Yeah.
We're just ordinary people. That'd be awesome.
It's just it was a fun story, and I dug it, and said that's what it kind of left me with it. It was nice to hear, because I remember back in the day getting that after the reunion tour, the Second Coming VHS and DVD came out, and that's what I thought most of the biography was going to be, and I was like, man, I've already seen this. Why are they going to do that? But they did get enough of the Eric and Tommy stuff in there at the end where I feel like, okay, this was somewhat new.
Yeah, it would be awesome if they would do a Kiss documentary about the 80s and 90s. That would be awesome. Now, I know I don't think it would most likely ever happen because Gene and Paul are real good about that copyright, and you don't get to do anything with their stuff without them saying yeah. And I'm not saying they have a huge problem with talking about the 80s or 90s, but I guess if you're going to put your time into it, you might as well maximize it. Most people want the old stuff, so that's what you focus on. But hey, man, it's cool. Whatever's cool. And I'm with you. You get to hang out with Paul Stanley, you're good. Gene does it by himself. Don't waste your fucking time because it's not worth your time. Now, if they would hire Greg Giraldo to come in and play Gene, I'd be all over that.
Oh man, do yourself a favor. I'm confident it's still on YouTube, and that if the version of it that I've heard is not there, then there is another version of the story out there that's just a hilarious story of there's a comedian, a Pete Gass, I want to say is his name, that tells the story of he was the first person I ever heard do Gene and Paul impersonations. I was like, this is great. And he does them well enough to where when they did the roast of Gene Simmons, I think he was there to do Gene and Paul for Gene. He's like, and agreed. This guy does me. So, but he's telling this story that being on the Kiss cruise.
Oh yes.
And damn near getting the lady that does the morning announcements that's fired, because he's like, how could this have not been obvious what a joke this was? Because he's telling the story, and he finds his way into the booth where the lady does the morning announcements on the cruise. Y'all, here's all that's been going on today. So, and he takes over, and he is doing Gene. This is Gene Simmons doing the morning announcements. And I regret to inform you that the boat has hit an iceberg. And the fact that it's from get-go, this should have been obvious joke, is they're in the freaking Caribbean or Bahamas or wherever it was. So anyway, it goes into his whole spiel, like, even though we have hit an iceberg, Kiss would like to offer you a rescue package. And he goes through the gold level and silver level.
Oh, yes. We have 3 packages on offer for your rescue. I absolutely love that joke so much. We have the platinum package. The idea that Gene Simmons would literally spitball on the fly of the ship. Okay, the ship is going down. Are we going to maximize our cash on this? Not that you can make money off of it. How you're going to make the most money off of it is the greatest thing in the whole world, man. That joke is the best. I love it when he talks about like, you got a phone call. You got a phone call from Gene Simmons, right? He says, well, yeah, I had a message on the machine. And he's like, hello, this is Gene Simmons from Kiss. I love them all dying and just all like that. You can tell it's him because it's like, I thought it was Gene Simmons from Pet Boys. It's Gene Simmons from Kiss. But I love that because like as soon as he says the from Kiss part, poor Artie Lang starts to choke, and it's just so awesome because I like that Artie likes Kiss so much that just the little stuff like that is as funny to him as it is to anybody that really likes him. And again, that's why that joke about the platinum package escape plan is so hilarious to any of us that really like Kiss, because it's like that's exactly what they would do. It's so brilliant, like you said. It did not occur to
as you're being ushered into the life rafts, Kiss will float by into a acoustic set.
Acoustic set.
The $300 package.
I like them talking about. I don't remember now what the comment was, man, but it was about people like, man, is this shit? Are we okay? Did we really hit an iceberg? Yeah. I understand that it's ridiculous, but it is a testament to how good his impersonation is. But my favorite part of it is that it's so believable as a joke that Kiss would charge you to get off the boat. That even like fans on the Kiss cruise bought it. It's like, no, I totally believe it.
Think you're really going to charge us to get off the boat?
Yeah, dude, seriously. Yes. Of course I am.
Would you care to buy a Kiss urn or?
Dude, seriously, for those, I'm real sorry in your hour of bereavement to contact you about your family member lost at sea on the Kiss cruise. If their remains, however, are recovered from the sea, we would like to just let you know about our coffins, urns,
All is not lost.
any number of, of memorial tributes to your loved one who so loved Kiss.
A glitter kiss trash bag. We'll shove them in and send them home to you.
It would be fantastic.
Available at kiss.com.
Kiss.com is such a great joke, man.
So I think it's worth tracking down and giving a look. You know, I'm sure probably A&E will be running it several times. So it's worth a look at. It just made me laugh thinking about that story. Like,
I love that story. I actually will hit YouTube just to find that one every now and again because I need to hear it again because I love it. But it's like you said, actually listening to the architect do it is like, God dang, this is so awesome. And like you said, his Gene Simmons is so unbelievably good. But I actually like his Paul Stanley better just because it's hilarious. Everything he says is just awesome.
Yeah. And there I've heard other impersonations since that are just them doing Pete, doing Paul.
Yeah.
Is you know, every impersonation I've heard is like, man, it's good, but it's not quite the one.
I can dig it. I can dig that, man.
Well, you know. As you all know. Man, that's I don't know much else what's going on in the world right now.
Man, me neither. I've just been like fully ensconced in Hawks and I'm keeping up with the European Championship as best I can. All my guys got wiped out in the same day, man. Like the Netherlands got beat, France got beat. It's like, oh man. But I will say, oh shoot, I know Italy and Spain are playing each other, which is always cool because you get traditional powers and that's fun. It's really cool that Switzerland is still going on their. I'm sorry, Denmark. I apologize. Denmark is still going on their run, but England's in the Final Four, which is real cool because this is consecutive tournaments now where World Cup, I think they finished third in the World Cup and they're going to be Final Four in this one. And I don't know, it's cool, man. It's good news for my guys in England. The Jadon Sancho transfer saga has finally come to an end and United did get him. And now there's going to be even more of a push. The owners at Manchester United are in a really precarious spot because despite having the 6 teams that decided they wanted to do the European Super League that blew up in their face, only Manchester Uniteds are going to be held to account. That's just how that works. It's like if the top 6 teams in baseball decided they wanted to start their own league and then it didn't work, the Cashman's all you're going to hear about. The Yankees are all you're going to hear about. Man United's the same way. But it's not exactly that they don't deserve it because the people that own Man United, the Glazers that used to own the Buccaneers, they're the fucking worst, and they've been the worst for a long time. So I think that a lot of the fan base is just probably genuinely real life done with it. But the fan base that's not genuinely real life done with it is going to hold their feet to the fire and make them spend all the money in the world. So they just got Sancho, and they're going to have more of a push for Harry Kane too. And it's like, good luck explaining why you didn't go get him because these people are mad as shit at you, man. But anyway, Kane's so good. I'm really proud of him, man, because Harry Kane is in that impossible spot in England. The English media is so much like the American media, but it's like, imagine the American media without their juicy wood for the Olympic team, because the England international soccer team, football team, the press live off that shit because it's just a big old soap opera and it's just so much fun because they never win anything. And all this player's overrated and that player's overrated. But my guy, Harry Maguire, who is the captain for Man United, is having a real good tournament. And then Harry Kane is going bananas. He has 9 goals in our international tournaments it's cool. It's a really fun story, man. So basically with that semifinal, you can't go wrong. Either England is going to a major final or Denmark, who, lost one of their best players at the beginning of the tournament to like a crazy freak heart arrhythmia situation. you can't go wrong, man. It's cool. And then, like I said, Spain and Italy's the other semifinal, and they're both very, very, very strong soccer nations. So, man, the Euro's awesome. I like the World Cup too, but I actually like the Euro better because it's streamlined. It's just like I love it. It's been a very fun, quite the exciting tournament. So you've had that and basketball going on, man. I'm set. It's very, very nice.
Heck yeah, man. That's what's up, man.
Yeah, man.
Cool.
Yeah, I think I'm good too. I appreciate it. So thank you for calling, man. Seriously, I'm still ain't got nothing to talk about, man. But it's all good.
That's all good.
It's very, very cool, man. Y'all, thank you for watching. Appreciate you.
Heck yeah, man. I'll see y'all.
Take care.